would like to request all attendees to mute themselves so that we can conduct the webinar smoothly. Our speaker of the day is Dr. Somijit Das. Dr. Somijit Das, Assistant Professor, EIILM, Kolkata, completed BE in Computer Science from University of Burdwan, MBA from Jadavpur University, and PhD from West Bengal State University. He has a teaching experience of 14 years and industry experience of 4 years. He is also associated with EDI Kolkata and EDII Ahmedabad. He was also associated with Techno India Group, Brainware University, Supreme Knowledge Foundation Group of Institutions, St. Xavier's College, Nursi Munji Institute of Management Studies, ICFAI National College, and many more. He has also presented and published different research papers in seminars, conferences, and journals of national and international repute. Sir will take questions from the audience at the end of his presentation, so you can drop your questions in the chat box. I will request all attendees to switch on their videos when we take a group photo at the end of the session. With this, I hand it over to Dr. Somijit Das to start today's session.
Thank you. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. And now I would like to share the screen with your permission. May I?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Now, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first, I would like to thank Calcutta University as well as the organizers, that is EDII, for choosing me or for giving me this opportunity. I feel extremely honored to get this opportunity to talk in such a prestigious program. Now, you know that all of
Hello,
you know.
friends.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible. Can you please make the screen full in a full screen mode?
Just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Sure, sir.
Is it zoomed in now?
Yes, sir. It's absolutely fine.
Better? Okay. So you know that as we can see that today's workshop is with digital payments in small business. Now, to start with, what I will say that you know that this being digital, it was a trend and it was a glamorous thing a few years back. But now, as the days are passing, it is becoming the need of the hour. Now, why I am telling that you can understand after I complete my presentation, and you will understand that specifically in case of small business, why we should go for digital payments and what are the different areas of digital payment. Now, if you see that this digital payment, this is a very vast topic and this is a very big area. So today I will give you a glimpse or basically an idea that how these things work and what are the trends now going on and all these issues. So to start with, we will say that you know that digital payment, it is basically a transaction which takes place online. That means even if there is the absence of the payer and payee in the brick and mortar institution, the physical presence is not mandatory. So digitally or online, they get connected and the transaction is completed. And this is known as basically digital payment. And here, both the payer and the payee, these two parties, and bank obviously act as an intermediary, and online platform which is being used, that is another intermediary. So these are the parties into it. And this payer and payee, they use electronic mediums to exchange money. Now, obviously a question can come, and that will be a very pertinent question if you ask, that why will we go for digital payments? What is the benefit? Now, if I streamline the benefits, the nutshell, number one, it is cost reduction. Now, you know that though I am not a finance guy, basically I'm a marketing person, but still know that finance or money or something that is the pivotal point of any business. And you know that if I simplify and right from the scratch, if we start thinking, you know that though we say that there are 4 P's of marketing or something, that product, price, place, promotion, but I think the most important P of the business, which is untold, that is profit. And you know that profit is the bottom line of any business. And you know that total profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. Now, in a given condition, if we face a situation where we are not in a position to increase our revenue, so obviously by reducing or cutting down our cost, we can increase our profit. So cost reduction that can be ensured by digital payment, because reduced people, paper-based transactions will not be there. Now, number two, you know, better customer experience. So you know that even if the people are not present in the bank, even if they are very remotely poised, still it will not be a hindrance for making the transaction. And that's why from a very remote place also, with the help of a portal, with the help of mobile, with the help of internet, they can go for this online transaction. Now, the third thing, the third point, if I want to elaborate it, that is record retention. You know that it is sort of, you know, technological issue. You know that there's a cloud computing. There's a area of, there's a subject which is emerging nowadays. And you know that cloud is a place in the term of computer science where we actually store or where we basically procure data. And you know that the records are being maintained over there. Now, had it been done physically, there can be the chance of, you know, the theft or loss or wrongly positioned in these records. But if you keep it in cloud, it will stay over there. Oh yes, you may ask that if there's a network failure or there's a hardware crash or something like that. But still, if it is in the cloud, it can be retrieved later, right? And obviously, you know that as your location is no more, or a location is to a certain extent losing its relevance because of this digital payment. So it is giving the competitive advantage to the person who is going for this business. And you know, they can easily access the overseas or the foreign markets. Now, you know that business improvement, obviously what we strive for, this business improvement. And as far as this business improvement is concerned, you know that I can show this picture, and here you can see that there are 3 arrows which are in red and which are downward, and 4 arrows which are upward. So downward means those things are reducing and upward means those things are increasing. So you know that payment processing time, number of approvals required, and administration cost, they are getting down. And as they are getting down, what is happening? The entire process is becoming fast and faster, which is adding to the comfort or adding to the pleasure of the parties who are involved in these transactions. Now, this visibility and data reporting, these are increasing because I told you just now that these records are being retained, and that's why those data are being reported, and those are actually kept in a very secured place from where it can be fetched at any point of time you want. Then, you know, supplier relations are also increased because you know that the payment process is getting faster. So obviously the outstanding or these things will come down and the supplier will be happy because they will get money because you need not live anymore on credit. Cash flow is smooth. And obviously, it has been seen that the reconciliation be done by 51%. Now, if I think about few more benefits of digital payment, number one is speed, number two is cost, and number three is perhaps the most important. I will come later. Speed is, many small and medium enterprises, after integrating digital payments, noticed a reduced time to process payments and providing, and that's why, because the payment processing time is reduced, what is happening? The business is having a better control over its receivables. Now, there is another very important factor, that is cost. And digital payments and cards, or if we can tell in another word, that is plastic money, that is 3 times more cost effective on average than traditional purchase or order process cost, due to reduced manual intervention and reconciliation effort. Because everything is getting automated and it is already programmed and in a system. So hardly there's a scope of any disruption or something unless any network failure or something happens. And the third point, perhaps the most important point, coming out of the clutch of that technology or something, that a survey has showed that people spend more on digital platforms. That means if you are having your hard cash in your hand, the amount of money you will be spending, obviously when you are spending digitally or whenever you are spending online, that's a trend which has been seen that you will spend more and more over there. Now, what are the steps, right? Very important to be taken by SMEs to get into this digital payment system. Number one, to identify the payment mechanisms that are available for your expenditure types. That means what are the payment mechanisms, what you require. Number two, very important, that for enabling this digital payment system in your business, obviously what you need a cost for implementing it, right? And obviously as you are incurring a cost, so you need to see that how much benefit is being accrued, right? That means in a lucid term, I can tell that you need to make a cost benefit analysis. So the cost you are incurring or the benefit is being accrued, and it is absolutely desirable the benefit should outweigh the cost. Then only it will be fruitful for you. Now the third point, very obvious, I have already told that shift payment processes. After you complete these first two processes, then first two steps, then you move or shift payment process towards digital mechanisms that provide the desired benefit. And obviously that desired benefit should be provided at an acceptable cost. At an acceptable cost means I'm telling about it should be acceptable to both, right? To the party who is actually introducing it and your clients. Not only the small business houses, but also their clients. Both should be, that means the benefit should be mutual. Now, supplier and purchaser communication should also be there to discuss ways to make payment faster. So they can be always keep connected if there is any hassle, if there is any problem, so that that can be resolved over that discussion. Now, it is very important, maybe I am from here on, I have deliberately made this slide a bit content heavy, because it will not be possible to cover all the points basically in this short period of time. So I have shared the PPT with you, and if you have any question, or if you have already gone through or have any question, I can discuss, or later also if you have any question, I am always free to accept your queries. Now, prerequisites of successful digital payment. Number one, as a SME house, you must have an Aadhaar card to activate this digital payment system. Number two, for the ongoing businesses, you must be making your IT returns, and you must be having your PAN card, that is permanent account number, right? Now, few issues are there, right? Number one, which you need to ensure. Number one is authentication. That means a standardized security procedure known as two-factor authentication is followed. Like that whenever you go for your personalized operation of your digital payment, you see that the system asks from you regarding your PIN or OTP, right? So that is cross verification, that whether you are actually the original person or whether, or to stop the fraudulent activities, these things are done. Number four, network safety. It is very, very important, because that almost those who are in the teaching, that for us, almost for the last more than 1 year, the world is becoming absolutely virtual. We are placed in the remote places, and we are heavily depending on the network. So this network safety is very important. So because that here money is involved, and that's why your network should be very much robust, so that it cannot be intruded very easily. Now, technical requirements like, USSD, that is unstructured supplementary service data, or all the digital and cashless payment, alternative method above require internet connectivity except for USSD. Now, what is USSD? I will tell later also. In mobile, if you dial *99#, then you don't need any internet connection. And despite not having internet connection, you can make digital payments. Information required to make payment. Yes, that is also needed. That is requirement of the hour is robust and resilient security protocols, coupled with minimum amount of credentials shared on these platforms. That means they may ask sometimes that to know that whether you are a robot or you are the actual person, and what is your date of birth, or what is your favorite color, or something like that. And these systems, by incorporating these things, actually the entire payment process becomes more and more rigid and more robust, basically. Now, in UPI, that is money directly goes to and from your bank account, kicking out the intermediary, that is e-wallet operators. So there is no necessity of e-wallet operators, and you can do it of your own. So there is no intermediary, no middleman between you. Now I can show here that few important types of digital payments: bank cards, then net banking, then point of sale, e-wallets, UPI, that is United Payment Interface or Unified Payment Interface, somewhere they tell, then USSD, I've already told, and AEPS. AEPS is of late introduced, that is Aadhaar enabled payment system. Now, there are few things, what you can see, that modes of digital payment in small business. Number one is banking cards. All of you know that there are different types of credit cards and debit cards with the help of which you can do it. There is something called USSD that I have told you, see, it's mentioned over here, but by simply dialing on your mobile *99#, you can make your payment, and the service is available for all mobile devices, including basic feature mobile phones, and does not require any internet data facility. And you know that this USSD, because the internet facility is not needed, it is to a certain extent secured, because there is no chance that in between your transaction you will lose your connection and the entire system will be disrupted, nothing like that. AEPS, and you know that when you go to any point of sale or POS terminal or micro ATM, there you know that Aadhaar enabled payment system, is introduced, and basic online transactions are done through this. UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface, it's a technology that collects payment request, and after it gets the request, checking that whether all the necessary details or something are there, then actually they go for processing this. And for the sake of the convenience of the user, it makes it in such a way so that you don't get disturbed, and at the same time the authenticity is also ensured. And the digital payment interface enables multiple bank transactions, not only a single, and merchant payments into one hook through a single mobile application. With the help of a single mobile application, you can do it. Now, you know that nowadays, lots of things are coming, like, you know, that maybe many of you are aware with it, like, you know, mobile wallet, like, you know, ePay, Google Pay, all these things. And you know that make your next digital payment by linking your credit card or debit card information to your mobile wallet. And you know that this unceasingly keeps on or allowing you the transfer of money online to a mobile wallet. Now, mobile wallet means it's a store in your mobile where you can have your money, from where you can transfer. Now, what is the advantage? That here you need not expose your entire bank account, right? So you can transfer as much as you want from your bank account as and when required, and then you can go for making the payments. Point of sale is also there. A point of sale is the place where sales are made. At micro level, retailer consider a POS to be the area where customer completes a transaction. That means there actually you close it and you receive your payment basically, and you close the deal. Now there is something called internet banking and mobile banking. Those were the areas where I have done my PhD basically. So internet banking is an electronic payment system which caters to the bank or other financial institutions users to conduct varied financial transactions to their website. Like I am telling you that you know about RTGS, you know about NEFT. So these things come under the purview of internet banking. And there is something called mobile banking. That means simply from your mobile, you can operate your banking transactions. And it is to a certain extent similar to internet banking. And mobile banking also allows user to make various financial transactions using the mobile applications of the bank or the financial institutions. Now, you know, one new concept is being introduced, that is micro ATM. Now, what is micro ATM? It is basically a device, right? It is a device used by business correspondents. That means those who are the business intermediaries to conduct instant transactions. These micro ATMs allow only basic banking services. Now, before telling this slide, recent trend on the usage, this is basically the last slide of today's presentation. I would express my thank or gratitude to Mr. Mojumdar. I believe Mr. Mojumdar, you are there. So actually, Mr. Mojumdar requested me to introduce this slide. Initially,
I am here. I am.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Initially, I didn't include this slide, and he requested me to incorporate it. And after that, I have done that. And you know that recent trend on the usage of digital transactions by small and medium entrepreneurs. And you know that, to be very honest, you can see from the 5 points that as far these MSMEs or small, medium enterprises are there, actually they are being encouraged by different banks also. That nowadays many MSMEs are accepting payments through NEFT, RTGS, IMPS. IMPS, it stands for immediate payment transfer. In NEFT and in RTGS, you need to wait for some time, but in IMPS, you need not wait for that time. And e-wallet replacing hard cash payment and reducing the chance of banking debt. So there is no concept of date because immediately the payment is done. So the outstanding and the date, this concept is to a certain extent getting obliterated. Now, MSMEs are also paying their suppliers electronically, reducing the probability of theft. And you can see at the end of the day, after the transaction, the smiling face of the supplier who are getting their payment on time, right? They need not travel. They need not physically be present in a bank or physically come to you. Now, many banks are now facilitating to the current account holders to apply for short-term loan or overdraft, even with the help of digital banking. And you know that it was unthinkable basically, even a few years back. But now the banks are doing it basically to encourage people, basically to encourage the small business houses to get involved in this digital banking. Now, today, small medium enterprises can access credit through mobile finance that helps them basically to achieve their short-term needs of the business, because immediately they can get loan or immediately they can get money. So short-term needs are being catered or needs are being fulfilled. And by making digital payments, MSMEs are also enjoying the benefits of cashback or discount. You know that as an individual also, this is true for an individual also. When we make any payment with the help of card or with the help of POS terminal or some this sort of this digital payment, we get the benefit of discount or cashback or money back, which we don't get in normal type of payment transactions or something like that. Now, here I end my presentation, but before formally ending, I will ask the coordinator, can I get 1 or 2 more minutes to add something? I will request for the permission. May I be permitted?
Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So far, you know that whatever we have shown today and whatever we have done today, you know, that we are telling that these things are beneficial, these are the advantages, why should we do this, what are the different processes, how the world is nowadays basically emerging towards digital payment or something like that. But you know, that's a hard reality. But still, we can't see that people are getting involved into it because there are some reasons. Because you know, I'm telling it in a very brief. You know that, and that's a very big area. You know that the security aspect, because it's monetary transaction, that's a big issue. And you will see that there are many scams, there are many fraudulent activities in this digital payment system. And if you are not aware about the use of it, the use of technology, the use of the process where you are into it, then you may become, or your payment system may become very vulnerable. And in the coming days, I believe, I'm sure that the organizers will conduct few more sessions where these security issues or this how these security issues can be handled, or more importantly, what type of security issues or how you can be trapped, okay, or what type of fraudulent activities people, because you know that this tricksters, they are very clever, and every day they are coming up with new modus operandi of making fraud. So you need to keep yourself updated that what are they and how can you safeguard yourself. So thank you. That's from my part. And now I hand it over to the organizer.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. We would now like to quickly move into the question and answer round, in which I'll be reading out the questions from the chat box one by one for the professor to answer them. So the first question is from one of our student, Rachit Jain. He says that nowadays frauds are taking place in the digital payment. So how can we solve this question?
As the time is short, I am just cutting the long story into a short one. That by developing awareness and being extremely careful while making this digital payment. Like there are few basics, there are few do's and don'ts which are often told by banks, that don't disclose your OTP to anyone, don't share this, don't click into when you are operating it from your laptop or from your computer, don't actually click into any suspicious link. Okay, so these things are very basics of it. Actually, this question can be answered in an entire session.
Okay, thank you, sir. So our next question is from our entrepreneur Sangeeta Sen. She wants to know what are the online payment options for a current account holder? Is it only net banking or other options are also available?
No, it's not only net banking. You know that I have already shown. If I, you know that these are actually the things. Internet banking, mobile banking is there. Micro ATMs are there. Now mobile wallets are there. Point of sale is always there. Now Aadhaar enabled payment system. Now this, you know that I am also going back to the previous query that once you go through this Aadhaar enabled payment system, there actually the security is more. Then UPI is there. All these things are there. Banking card, USSD, all these are different types of options which are available for the current account holders for making their digital payment for the sake of doing their business.
Okay, our next question is from Vijay. He wants to know how to identify the suspicious links.
Now, there is no thumb rule to it. Okay. But you should be extremely careful that, and you should see that from where the link is coming, and unless it is from, you know, that SBI or the bank which one you actually use, they actually generally don't send you this type of links. They actually try to tell you that you log into their terminals, and that by typing a website in your URL and not by clicking any link. So it will be better that when you are dealing with your current account and when you are dealing with digital payment, you should not go there, right? You
So
should
the
not,
last question.
you should avoid basically clicking to the links. Maybe that will be very glamorous. Maybe that will be very lucrative. You will be lured to do that, but you should avoid that. You should abstain from doing that.
Okay, sir, and I have a last question to ask from my end, and I want to know thus, I want to know that does opting for digital payments is filing of GST and IT returns?
Can you please come up again?
Yeah, I want to know does opting for digital payment is the process of GST filing and IT return filing?
Yes, that can also be done, because nowadays for some specific courses are also done on this, and I believe Gautam Babu can tell in this regard also, regarding e-filing, regarding income tax return, regarding your GST returns. You can use these digital platforms from where you can do that. There are different methods of doing it, right?
Okay. Okay, we have a question from Gautam Majumdar, sir. So he asks, are banks used to deduct transaction charges against the digital service to customers?
No, it depends basically. It depends that there are certain norms basically that how much amount of transaction you are making, and then sometimes you know that if you are a very frequent users, right? There is no yes or no answer to this question. And you know that if you are very frequent users, they give you the privilege that they don't deduct charges. But if you are not a very frequent user, and even if they charge it, it's very nominal. Even you know that to counter this or answering this question, I can tell that even if you see that if you activate the SMS alert in your mobile for your banking transactions, they deduct charges, but that's a very nominal amount.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to hand over the mic to Sanchari.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Das, for answering all our queries and questions and to simplify the topic of digital payment for all of us. So, sir, I would kindly request if you could stop screen sharing, then I could screen share.
Sure. Is it done?
Yes, thank you. And as you all know, our next webinar is also on the next Friday, which is April 23rd. The topic is branding for entrepreneurs by Tracy H. Kaiser. And you will also be knowing that we have already had a webinar on branding by Ahel Masood. So this webinar is an in-depth series of the same webinar that we have already had. So please, is the webinar, okay. Is the poster visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay, great. Thank you. So we really hope that you all can make it next Friday. আমরা ভীষণ খুশি যে আমাদের অনেক এন্টারপ্রেনার্সরা আজকে আমাদের সাথে যুক্ত হয়েছে আর অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আপনাদের আর আশা করছি আপনারা নেক্সট ফ্রাইডেও আমাদেরকে জয়েন করবেন আমাদের আরেকটা ওয়েবিনার সিরিজে যেটা আপনাদের নিশ্চয়ই ভীষণ সাহায্য করবে and I would request all of you if you could kindly switch on your cameras for us to take a screenshot.